All right, Richest Man of Babylon. I love this book. This is a reread for me. I've read and listened to this book many, many times. And one of the reasons why I decided to choose to go over this book again is it's got some tremendous principles. And I think, especially at the beginning of the year, at least for me, it's kind of a great time to get back to some principles and really focused on those things that are most important, especially as we're goal setting and through this time period, because this is beginning of February-ish, and it's usually when people start getting a little sluggish and people are kind of reevaluating what they want for the rest of the year. So I wanted to go through this book with you guys because I think it'll be very helpful for you as well. The principles are absolutely amazing, and a lot of what I'm going through personally in my life, I just wanted to make sure I kind of kept this grounded because we're going through this process over the last 2 years. We've done tremendous in business. We've grown tremendously. Our team is absolutely amazing. Thank you guys if you're watching this. And we've kicked some major butt, and it's nothing compared to what we're going to be doing this year. And on top of that, Marlene and I are getting married. We're starting a family. We're focused on our faith and a lot of things there as well. And then also fitting in some time for friends and family. And so it's just a lot of stuff that's going on. And remembering the principles is so important, especially when we're really pushing ourselves to the limit. And another thing that's interesting, as principles always are, is they're very simple. And one of the biggest challenges I think people have is they take a simple principle and they go, well, yeah, I've heard that before, or I know that principle. And yeah, that's great that you know a principle, but it doesn't mean that you know it and that you're actually applying it. It's like saying you know somebody's name and saying that you know that person, and that's not true at all. If you've been in a relationship before, it takes a lifetime to really understand another human being and the way they think and believe about things. And that's the same thing that's true with principles, and that's why they're so great, is because it's a lifetime pursuit to follow correct principles. And don't forget, it's always a principle to make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I'm just kidding, but seriously, you should do that. It helps with the algorithm. And let's get into this book. It's fantastic. So number one is paying yourself first. And this is one I think that's tremendously overlooked. And it's not just about financially, but financially I think is where most people have a challenge. But I think it comes in every single aspect, and all of these principles are going to work on multiple levels, not just with money. And I think that's the great thing about principles. So in paying yourself first, it means that making a commitment to you. And there's something special, there's something powerful in your confidence, in your ability to accomplish things when you take care of you first. And I'm not sure when this kind of shifted, but in our society it's become, hey, you take care of me and maybe we'll be able to take care of you. Whereas I really see it as I'm going to take care of me for you. It shouldn't be your responsibility to take care of me. It shouldn't be your responsibility to take care of my family. That's my job. So I'm going to take care of me and I'm going to take care of my family. And if there's more beyond that, I'll start taking care of the community and I'll start taking care of my state and then beyond that, right? And it's got to grow from that small you taking care of you so that that's nobody else's responsibility. And this also boils down to money and taking care of yourself first. The challenge is when most people get paid, they take care of everybody else first. We're so giving as people that very rarely do we ever keep anything for ourselves. And to me, that's really a shame. Most people will work 40, 50, 60 years. They will make $1 million, $2 million in their lifetime. And by the time they're getting ready to stop working, they're 65, 72, their pockets are tinned inside out, they have nothing that they've saved for themselves, they've given every single penny away. The only thing they've accumulated by that age is a cabinet full of medicines, and that's all they have to leave to their future generations. And I think that's absolutely a shame. So let's get into number two, which is going to be controlling your expenses. So once we make that commitment to take care of ourselves, step number two is going to be actually looking at what's going on, which includes controlling your expenses. If you can't control your expenses, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you will always have problems with money. And now spending 8 years helping people understand how money works and teaching them financial literacy, because it's not something that's taught in schools. Most people are completely financially illiterate, which means they make lots of mistakes and they're oftentimes taken advantage of when it comes to money. So having watched this through hundreds of people that I've helped come into entrepreneurship and thousands of clients, very few people actually look at what they're spending money on and evaluate their expenses. We all hear about making more money, but we never actually like the idea of talking about looking at what we're actually spending money on and finding what's important to us and spending more money there and getting rid of the things that are not actually important, that are not fulfilling. Number 3 is increasing your wealth. So once you have a commitment to take care of yourself, and then once you actually look at the numbers, and then you're going to start increasing your wealth. This comes with financial education. You cannot build wealth long-term if you're not financially educated. And that's been proven multiple times. I did another thing where I went over studies on financial literacy. You can go watch that video as well. It was great. It'll give you a lot more information on that. And in that video, it talks about people who were financially educated. Not only did they save more money, but they made more money because they understood the importance of money in their time. So financial education is huge here. And education in any aspect, I think when people are educated, they make better decisions. So if you want to make better decisions spiritually, get educated. If you want to make better decisions with your health, get educated. If you want to make better decisions with your finances, get educated. Just because you're out of school, you're out of college and high school, doesn't mean your education should stop. Hence why I'm reading this book. Number 4 is protecting your money against losses. This goes against the mainstream narrative right now that you should be putting everything in these super speculative things of cryptocurrency and NFTs. And not that I'm against any of that stuff, but there's no protection against loss in any of that. And people will go all the way, they will literally put everything into something like that, hoping that they win big, because we love those types of stories and social media will promote it like crazy, even though it's 1 out of a million. That's what we see all the time. So we have a confirmation bias that it's not as speculative as it actually is. So number 4 is making sure you actually protect yourself from losses. And number 5 is to own your home. And I think about this in multiple different aspects. So if you're a young entrepreneur, you're not married, you don't have kids, you probably want to rent. You probably don't want to own your physical home, if you will, because your best ability right now is flexibility, that you can move, you can go where you need to go, you can keep your expenses low, you're not stuck in one spot. You can go do whatever you need to do. If it's more popular in another city, you can move to that city. But once you start buying a residence, you're more stuck in where you are, and it makes it harder for you to be able to be flexible. Now, obviously, as you build a family, that's going to kind of change because you don't want to be moving your family around. Most people don't want to be moving their family around as much. So, but I think this also comes into a couple different areas. Your body would also probably be considered your home, right? It's the only place you really have to live. So do you own your home? Are you treating your body like it's something that you actually own? Are you taking care of it the way that you should? I think business is also an extension of your home. Are you taking care of your business? Do you own your business, or are you working in somebody else's? Are you renting your job? Are you renting your employment, or do you actually own it? And the importance of this is when you own things, you get the say of how those things are run. Which brings us into number 6, because when you own things, you have a future. And when you don't own things, you have no future. So if you don't own your business and you don't own your home and you don't own your body, ability to have a future is very, very limited. And that's the importance of entrepreneurship. That's the importance of business. That's just the importance of taking good care of things, is to be able to ensure your future, ensure future income is actually what this is talking about. But all of those have to do with income. So are you preparing for the future? Do you have your transition figured out? That when you're going to be done working, that when you've used most of your life force up, you're 65, 72 years old, what does that look like for you? Do you still have future income? Or are you only depending on current income at the expense of your future income? That when you're older, you now become a burden to your family, your friends, your community, your neighborhood, everybody else. That's really no way to live. That's a very stressful way to live. And number 7 is increasing your ability to earn, because you can supercharge all of these other areas if you find a way to be able to increase your income, whether that's a side hustle, whether it's a part-time job or a part-time business, or something that you can do to help increase your income. And in today's society, with the internet, with social media, it's never been easier to be able to create a business as far as expenses and not having to have a brick and mortar and everything else that goes along with that. I think everybody should have some sort of business that they're doing or that they're working on the side that brings in extra income, because you can really fast forward all of these other areas when you're willing to be able to do that. So for this book, I love these principles. You should go through and actually read it, because there's going to be a lot more details and a lot more things that help solidify why this is important. These principles are all taught with parables and better ways to be able to actually understand and grasp them. But this was a fantastic book. I highly recommend you reading it or listening to it. You can usually even find it on YouTube. And I think it'll really help lay that groundwork. And remember, there's a difference between knowing the name of a principle. You might know what character is, or you might know what paying yourself first is. You might know that, but the question is, are you doing it? And so don't say you know something if you're not actually taking action on it. So hope this was helpful for you. Don't forget to hit that like button to help with the algorithm. Really appreciate that. And then also to hit the subscribe button as well. And I'll see you guys soon.